The history of ancient Egypt is rich with remarkable stories, legends, and the grandeur of its pharaohs. Among these, Ramses II, often known as Ramses the Great, stands out as one of the most influential and powerful pharaohs in Egyptian history. Not only is his reign marked by monumental achievements, grand construction projects, and military victories, but his legacy also survives through the discovery of his remarkably well-preserved mummy. The true story of the mummy of Ramses II is a tale of scientific discovery, cultural heritage, and the fascinating connection between ancient Egypt and modern-day archaeology. This story encompasses the pharaoh's life, the journey of his mummy, and the remarkable efforts to study and preserve the remains of one of Egypt's greatest rulers. The life of Ramses I. Ramses II was born in 1303 BC, during the 19th dynasty of Egypt, and reigned for an astonishing 66 years, from 1279 to 12. His reign, which spanned over 6 decades, is often considered the pinnacle of Egypt's imperial power and cultural achievements. Ramses II's long and prosperous reign is characterized by numerous military campaigns, especially in the Levant and Nubia, as well as grandiose architectural projects, most famously the construction of the temples at Abu Simbel, which remain iconic symbols of ancient Egyptian grandeur. His military victories, including the famous Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites, were celebrated through inscriptions and monuments, solidifying his status as one of Egypt's greatest military leaders. He is also remembered for his building projects, which included the construction of temples, cities, and monuments across Egypt. One of the most enduring aspects of his reign was his diplomatic success, exemplified by his treaty with the Hittites after the Battle of Kadesh, one of the earliest known peace treaties in history. Ramses II had many wives and children. His most famous consort was Nefertari, and he fathered over 100 children. His reign was also marked by a strong emphasis on religious reforms and the promotion of the worship of Amun-Ra, the chief deity of the Egyptian pantheon. In addition to his monumental achievements, Ramses II's legacy has been immortalized through his physical appearance and art and sculpture. His colossal statues, including the famous ones at Abu Simbel, have left a lasting imprint on the imagination of both ancient and modern observers. Ramses II's reign, achievements, and larger-than-life persona earned him the title Ramses the Great in ancient texts and modern scholarship. However, despite his widespread fame during his lifetime, it was not until centuries later that the true story of Ramses II's mummy would capture the attention of archaeologists and historians. The mummy of Ramses I. Ramses II's body was initially buried in the Valley of the Kings, a royal burial site on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor. The tomb, designated K7, was an elaborate and grand burial chamber, fitting for a king of Ramses II's stature. However, over time, the tombs in the Valley of the Kings were raided by tomb robbers, and the mummies of many Egyptian rulers were displaced. This fate befell the mummy of Ramses II as well. In the 21st dynasty around 1070 BC, a group of priests tasked with protecting the royal tombs began to relocate the mummies of past pharaohs to a more secure location known as the Royal Cache TT320, in the Deir el-Bahari Cliffs. It was during this time that Ramses II's mummy was moved along with the mummies of other pharaohs to a tomb in a hidden cave, where it would remain for over 2,000 years. Ramses II's mummy was discovered in 1881 by archaeologists in the Royal Cache, and its condition was remarkable for the age of the remains. His body, though not perfectly preserved, was still relatively intact, especially considering the harsh conditions of tomb robbers, time, and Egypt's extreme climate. His physical appearance, including the shape of his face and his distinctively large stature, was still recognizable. The mummy was identified through a set of royal inscriptions and the characteristic features of Ramses II. The discovery of Ramses II's mummy was a significant moment in the history of Egyptology, but it also marked the beginning of an ongoing process of scientific investigation and preservation. The scientific examination of Ramses II's mummy of Ramses II, like many ancient Egyptian mummies, has provided researchers with valuable insights into the health, lifestyle, and death of one of Egypt's greatest rulers. In particular, a series of scientific analyses have revealed key details about the pharaoh's final years, his health, and the cause of his death. While the discovery of Ramses II's mummy in 1881 was an important milestone in Egyptology, it was not until the 20th century that more advanced methods of investigation would be employed. One of the most notable studies was conducted in the 1970s when Ramses II's mummy was subjected to an in-depth analysis by a team of French scientists led by Dr. Jean-Pierre Lemoyne. Using non-invasive imaging techniques such as X-rays and CT scans, researchers were able to gain a much clearer understanding of the pharaoh's physical condition without disturbing the delicate remains. These studies revealed several important findings. Health problems. It was discovered that Ramses II had suffered from various health issues during his later years. Analysis of his bones and teeth revealed signs of arthritis, a common ailment among the elderly, which suggests that the king's physical activity, including his military campaigns, had taken a toll on his body. His teeth showed significant wear, indicating a diet that may have been coarse and hard, possibly due to the constant exposure to dust and grit from military campaigns. Additionally, he had dental abscesses, which would have caused considerable pain during his lifetime. Death. Though it is difficult to pinpoint the exact cause of death, the results of these studies suggested that Ramses II may have died in his early 90s, a remarkable age for a ruler of his time. Some of the most prominent hypotheses about his death include heart failure or a stroke, as signs of vascular disease were detected in his mummified remains. However, some scholars suggest that Ramses II's death could also have been linked to infections caused by his dental issues, as well as his weakened immune system due to old age. Injury evidence. Further studies on his mummy revealed evidence of injuries sustained during his lifetime. There were signs of healed fractures in his ribs and legs, possibly caused by accidents or battles, which were common among ancient rulers who were involved in military campaigns. These injuries were consistent with the known military exploits of Ramses II, particularly his participation in the famous Battle of Kadesh. Mummification process. The embalming process used for Ramses II was also a subject of interest for researchers. His mummification appeared to have been done with great care, as was typical for a pharaoh of his status. However, the preservation of his body showed some signs of degradation over time. For example, his internal organs, which were typically removed during the mummification process, were not preserved in the same manner as those of other mummies. This suggests that his mummification may not have been as elaborate as that of some other pharaohs. It was also found that the embalming fluid used to preserve his body included a combination of resins, oils, and natron, which were common substances used in Egyptian mummification practices. The mummy's journey. In addition to the scientific examinations, Ramses II's mummy has also taken on a remarkable journey through history. In 1976, the mummy was moved from its resting place in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo to a special exhibit in Paris, where it was displayed for several months. During this journey, the mummy was treated as a dignitary, and its movement was accompanied by a special entourage and even a passport, marking a curious chapter in the life of a long-dead king. The legacy of Ramses II and his mummy. The story of Ramses II's mummy has not only provided invaluable insights into the life and health of the ancient Egyptian ruler but has also become a powerful symbol of Egypt's ancient past. The discovery of his mummified remains has contributed greatly to our understanding of ancient Egyptian society, culture, and religion. In a broader sense, Ramses II's mummy serves as a testament to the extraordinary preservation techniques of ancient Egypt and the sophistication of its embalming practices. The fact that a mummy as old as Ramses II's could still be studied and analyzed today is a testament to the incredible achievements of ancient Egyptian mortuary practices. Moreover, Ramses II's mummy has become a focal point of modern popular culture. The figure of Ramses the Great is often depicted in films, books, and documentaries, and his mummy has been the subject of countless exhibitions. Whether displayed in museums or discussed in scholarly articles, Ramses II's mummy remains a touchstone for those fascinated by ancient Egypt and its mysteries. The true story of the mummy of Ramses II is not just about the preserved remains of an ancient ruler. It is a window into the grandeur and complexity of ancient Egypt. From the pharaoh's legendary reign to the fascinating scientific studies conducted on his mummy, the story of Ramses II continues to captivate and intrigue scholars and the public alike. As one of Egypt's greatest rulers, his mummy has become a symbol of the legacy of ancient Egypt and a reminder of the enduring mystery of the past. The mummy of Ramses II is not merely a relic of the distant past. It is an important part of a larger narrative that bridges the ancient world with modern scientific inquiry. Through the examination of his body and the study of his reign, we are able to understand not only the life of a great king, but also the fascinating history of the ancient civilization that produced him. As long as Ramses II's mummy remains preserved and studied, his story will continue to inspire awe and wonder in those who seek to understand the mysteries of the ancient world.